Oh, I see. Okay, I have to do this first. What is config? What's the point of even having this thing here? Oh, it's to load the gun, huh? Oh. That's bad, isn't it? Nothing seems to be really working here, does it? Unable to equalize pressure. Maybe you can help with that. Ah, the more of this. There's another one. Well. Okay, it does move. That's good. This looks so cool, by the way. Oh, I can remove it, I see. There's all humans. Well, it's actually not humans, it's just constructs, if you want. Programs mimicking humans. Wait for me! A simulation of humanity, exactly. Emulation, that's better, true. Shit, yeah, well, it just vanished. Ah. I guess he showed me the way. Where am I now, by the way? Oh, we're on the bottom of the ocean again now? At the core of WoW, okay. I thought we were going to the space gun. Well, it all went wrong. Alpha. Oh, that's the alpha symbol, I see. Well, this doesn't look promising. Does it? Okay, nothing in here. Yeah, I don't know about this. Ugh. Can you stop making me open these doors, man? How are these things still running underwater? Are these servers? I guess Counter-Strike server still live. Level 7. Did it say, right?
We're so close.
Just tell me what you want.
I need you to stop the WoW.
What? How?
The enslaved protein sloshing around your suit is the noose from which the WoW will have mixed.
What are you talking about?
As soon as I came to in Omicron, I tried to tell them to make the toxin that would make the WoW wither. But they didn't understand. They put it inside a cabinet. This was so infuriating. They needed to take it to Alpha, the fountainhead of misery we created. And then the girl, she figured it out. She was going to take care of it, but the WoW shrieked. They all died. You took the gel from the cabinet and made yourself into a venomous snake.
You're saying this toxin inside of me can kill the WoW? Altogether?
You are the snake, Simon. Now strike at the heart.
Can we just talk about how amazing that voice actor was? And the line. And he said we do preparations, yet couldn't even open the doors or clean up a bit. Pathetic. Absolutely. Also, I was expecting pizza. Genuinely. So wait, what was he saying there? That the structure gel? Is it what he's talking about? We took from that cabinet? Is some sort of toxin that kills the WoW? So he wants to kill the WoW. Maybe establish that. Which I can understand because it doesn't really have any use anymore, does it? Since everyone's dead. Oh, there he is. Hello, friend.
What the hell is that?
Heart. It controls all the structure gel on Pathos 2.
Oh, I see.
All you need to do is poison the imprint, and the heart will unwillingly spread it across Pathos 2, killing it. Feed it, Simon. Push your arm into the heart.
Can I also choose not to do it?
Come on. Do it.
This looks like an anus, man. But
Can't let the world continue producing its filth. Kill it.
Take it easy.
Theory, he actually brought you here, not WoW. It's true. He knows your name, but how? Maybe he is the WoW.
Just force your arm inside it.
Here's the
Back off,
dilemma.
okay?
If this life form should exist even as last form of life or no. Well, it's not really a life form, is it? Isn't this also just an AI that...
Please, Simon.
And yes, you can just leave WoW. Oh, okay, I see. No, I want to kill it anyway, though. Because it has no use anymore. I feel like. Because everything on Earth is pretty much dead. Right? I assume this also kills all the robots that have been these monsters. They just bite up. Oh, damn. Just bit off our arm. It is not the life it thinks it is. Yeah, exactly.
Please. I did what you wanted.
You did good, Simon. But you can't leave.
Oh, I see what it is.
The only way to make sure the WoW stays dead is to destroy the only one who's immune to the new pattern. Don't worry. I'll make it quick.
Oh, God!
Well, I guess he didn't. Alright. A lot of things just happened all at once, eh? Thank God this thing still works. So now we poisoned the WoW. Everyone's gonna die. All these robot things, I guess. Wait, what is this? What even is that? Oh, was that the thingy that tried to kill, that ate him? Oh, it was. Okay, I see. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, it's still here. It's hungry. Let's get some healing going. Piss off. Uh-oh. Oh shit! That was actually close. Well, I guess it can't really eat me. Oh, now we're just super slow. The thing is mad. Match. It's very match. Can I heal? Nice. Why not use your left arm though? Wait, what I thought. Isn't the wall dead? This should heal me. Right? I think so anyway. I'm stuck! Run! There it is. Alright, let's go in here. Enough of this bitch. Damn. Alright. Catherine said that we don't have a definition of life, so we can't truly say if it's life or not. And by definition, life needs to hold on three metrics: replication, homeostasis, and metabolic energy. Technically, it is life, not consciousness, but life. Yeah, true. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah, but I assume there's more living beings on planet Earth than just this. And wow. Let's be honest, it turned all these humans into monsters, so. Good riddance. Open up the door, it's real.
This has to be FAI, right? Hope the Ark made it here in one piece.
Well, we didn't. We lost our arm. Control room. Ah, right, okay, so we're gonna shoot the Ark into space, huh?
Chris, what the hell happened to your arm?
Well...
It's complicated. I just need to know one thing. I'll have both my arms in the Ark, right?
Yes, of course. Are you okay?
You
there?
don't,
Can you
because
do
it's
stuff?
not real.
Yeah. Let's just get this over with.
Did you find the Ark?
I did, but I kind of lost it on my way here on an automated tram thing headed to FAI. So it should be around somewhere.
That's great. Let's go get it.
Because like in the Ark, it's just a simulation. Right now, it's a simulation in this robot, but the robot is still real, right? In the real world.
All right. FAI is up and running.
Monsters, by our understanding from unfamiliarity, they are hostile because...
What happened to the Ark team?
Not really. For some reason, they didn't go through with the launch, so they took the Ark back to Tau.
I hope everything's okay with the space gun.
Yeah, I doubt I'll be able to repair one of those.
That nuke or toxic gel with antidote exists that will wipe every monster out. Could it be defense? Preemptive defense. Well, considering that the WoW
This
thinks
feels like the longest day of my life.
it does.
It's just been one day.
Stop
I
talking.
have no idea. Our time together is a confusing patchwork of moments to me.
What time is it then? What day?
It's May 11th, 2104, 3:30 a.m., but I don't remember when we started.
What did I took out this battery? What does that do? Yeah, the WoW thinks it's basically just keeping everyone alive. Right? I guess I should have kept that battery in, huh? Oh,
You know, I woke up in my bed today.
so
It
technically
just happens to have happened 100 years
it is doing that.
Sounds like a riddle.
It does. I woke up in my bed today, 100 years ago. Who am I?
But there it is.
Who am I?
Well, that's the question.
All right, found the Ark.
Good job, Simon. Now we just need to find the assembly space so we can stuff the Ark into a shell.
Yeah, so basically the WoW up until the very end was trying to
It's crazy to think where I am.
survive
Not only is this the
and keep
future,
everyone
it's in
alive.
the middle of the sea. I know nothing of this time or what the world looks like.
Well, the road's
Not
pretty
much to brag
fucked
about
up.
now. Before the comet, I guess it was okay.
Yeah, better not oversell it. Might change my mind about the Ark.
You seriously not gonna tell me what happened to your arm?
I had to make a quick stop at Site Alpha to help kill the WoW.
What? How? Why?
Stop it from torturing the memory of humanity.
Okay, let's just get back to work.
Just ignore that. Who this? Wait, can I...
Are you suggesting we keep it down here? Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose? Eternity among the stars, remember?
The people inside the Ark won't know the difference. We can just keep it down here, and we don't have to risk the Ark being shot through 5,000 meters of broken barrel, and then push through another 100,000 meters of a dust-filled atmosphere.
I see.
Will the casing stand all that pressure?
Well, the odds aren't great.
Catherine, say something.
I don't care what you think. I'm launching it.
No
Damn.
need to be like that. Let's just hang on to it for a while and think about it. We can launch it later.
No, that wasn't the deal. We made it to save them, to launch it. Out there, it's hope. Down here, it's a fucking terrarium waiting to die with the rest of us.
Come on, Catherine. It's not asking much. Let's just think about it before we risk the only hope humanity has to survive this hell.
No, we launch it today. This is my project, my Ark.
It's bigger than
Oh, it's
that.
her.
Don't you get it? It's not for you to decide. We're talking about the fate of mankind.
Get away from the Ark. I'm taking it.
No, you're not.
I'm not gonna let you ruin this.
Stop it!
Guys, calm down.
Get away from me! No!
What the fuck did you do?
It was an accident.
I'm sure.
Catherine, talk to me. Catherine.
Well,
God. Catherine,
Did you say something?
it's you. You had an
I don't
accident.
think it was an
What do
accident.
you... Oh. You mean Catherine. Don't worry, it's better this way.
Cavs AI does not give a fuck,
You got
man.
into a fight with your colleagues. They didn't want to risk launching the Ark. Thought it might not make it through the atmosphere.
They killed me?
I'm sure it was an accident.
That's
They were just trying to stop you from launching.
my point. Even humans respond with destruction in face of existential threat. Look at Russia,
How could
Ukraine
they kill
context.
me?
Absolutely.
Catherine,
I know I'm not an easy person to like. I just thought they trusted me.
come on. Don't do this to yourself.
With a bloody wrench next to her. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right there. Fucking accident, he says. Please, Simon, define accident. You know, I had this wrench in my hand, and then I
Did
felt
you have
this
friends in Toronto,
jerking in my hand, then
Real friends?
it just fell off.
There were some. Jesse, Sean, Kevin.
I always wanted a friend. Like a real one. Someone you'd never hold back with.
I'll be your friend.
Oh, pity friendship? Now I feel even worse.
Okay, so some other guy who killed her apparently Wanted to
Do you
keep.
think the Ark will make it through the atmosphere and into space?
It almost doesn't matter anymore. We just need to try. If we burn, we burn. If we're lucky, we just gave humanity a new chance, a whole new era. With the Ark on Earth, maybe we have a few decades of power to keep it running. In space,
Yeah,
we have thousands of years.
I was gonna say.
Still, one hell of a gamble, though.
This was never about certainty. It's about hope.
Star Wars right there. That's what Pliskov said, right? Because down here, it doesn't survive for very long. In space, it can. And yeah, you know, initially I was always saying, why not try to rebuild humanity underwater there? But this was all a backup plan, basically. And you had to go with the backup plan now because everyone died. I assume due to a lack of food, I guess, but also the vow making these monsters.
What will you do when you get into the Ark? What's the first thing?
Make sure the Ark is safe, stabilize flight path, activate solar panels.
Well, what's the first human thing you're gonna do?
Oh. Watch the clouds roll by? Does that count?
I'd say so.
Got stuck in her head, yeah. Exactly, it just happened, I don't know.
I
Yeah,
found the assembly space.
What do you see?
It's like a huge open shell, a bullet ready to be loaded.
That's great. All prepared for the Ark.
On it.
yeah, I mean, at this point, what other chance do we really have? Because initially we probably thought that someone is still alive. I mean, Landwell, or whatever her name was, she was, but... Food, wow, mass psychosis after day 0 that followed, people killing themselves. I thought they killed themselves due to the scans. But yeah, food, obviously, wow. The wow definitely changed after the comet hit, so... Basically, everything went to shit after that, and people just couldn't cope with it. Although I would have expected the human survival instinct to operate stronger there. Maybe not. Because now all we have left is programs, copies of actual humans. And the idea is that we hope someone finds that, some other living being finds that Ark in space and helps us to recreate ourselves somehow. So many power, huh? Oh, there's a battery thing, okay. Where was that again? They killed because of continuation, which is false, due to branching off of experience. That's the psychosis part. Oh, I see, okay. Yeah, yeah, right, that's what they said, but I thought, like, this only happened after the scans. Like, not... Or were the scans directly after the comet hit? Because I thought, like, okay, the comet hit, the vow got kind of crazy, sure, but the humans could have thought about, okay, this all sucks, now we are underwater here, maybe we figure out how to survive as a human species underwater in this station, and maybe at some point we can come back to the surface when it sort of settles down. Or live down there forever, but, you know, which is nice, but it's better than dying. I guess, anyway.
Is that it?
I'm really not that familiar with guns of any size. Oh, here we go. All systems say go.
Lock and load.
Combat up and we'll head out to the gun.
Alright. So we're shooting it into space, huh? What even was the point, by the way, of building this gun underwater? In the first place? I'm wondering. here. Scans were due to the comet. No comet, no scans. So comet was the domino that fallen and caused ripple effect into scanning and events of... Oh, okay, I see. Oh yeah, she only did this because the comet hit. Otherwise she wouldn't have done it. Because I thought they went down here.
A satellite is loaded into a shell.
Okay.
The shell is accelerated by electromagnets along the barrel. Enough momentum to escape Earth's gravity is gained before ingression.
Oh, it doesn't oh, okay.
The satellite will shed the shell.
I thought it shoots through the water, but there's basically a huge tube.
Onboard thrusters settle the satellite.
Up until the surface? Is that how this works? Because I thought, isn't this also pretty risky to shoot this thing through these thousands of kilometers through water? It's a railgun sort of thing, but like this thingy looked to me like
a satellite is loaded into a shell.
Like there is a whole connection from down here up to a base station on the surface of the water. And this is basically all going through water, and then here it only reaches through the acceleration into space.
The satellite will shed the shell.
I don't know.
Onboard thrusters settle the satellite into an orbit.
Launch dome. Everything's in the water always, man. Oh, I didn't take my tool with me. Yeah, right. Catherine's still here.
Now what?
Now we just need to get the shell into the gun and then kaboom.
Aren't you forgetting something? How are you gonna get us on board the Ark? Don't we need to make another scan?
Oh, don't you worry. You don't operate something like the Omega space gun with your bare hands.
You mean it's a pilot seat?
Oh.
Like back at Omicron?
Yes, and we can use it to transfer you to the Ark while operating the gun. 2 birds and all that. Now, take the Omnitool and plug it in next to the seat and I'll guide you through the final steps.
Yeah, okay, but... So basically copying ourselves into the Ark while we launch the thingy. But how do we know that we are gonna be copied over? Right? Or like our version of ourselves right now, I guess. Alright, let's shoot a huge thing and all of humanity into space, eh? Why not? We don't, you just have to trust the woman. I don't know if I trust Catherine. Oh, that's a space gun, huh? Railgun kind of thing. All right. There we are.
Oh. I'll never get used to that.
Guess you won't have to. Not after this is over.
Right. Have a seat.
All right.
Comfortable?
As good as it's gonna get.
Okay, I'll activate the seat. You should be able to use the machines to load the bullet you assembled.
Oh, I have to do it myself.
How do you operate this thing?
Don't know, I never tried this one. But pilot seats are notoriously easy to use, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Well, that's indeed pretty easy. Can I, like, turn it? Ah, I see. Alright, that was easy. That really wasn't that complicated.
There we go.
Okay, ready when you are. Just hit the button and we're off.
But we need to transfer our minds to the Ark.
We also need to make sure it launches at all, so I tied them to a single switch. Just push the button and we're off.
Which one? That one? Oh, the big button.
Here we go. No turning back.
Thank you, Simon.
Don't mention it.
It's an amazing thing you did. And I want
Oh yeah,
you to
right.
know
We actually achieved it. What we wanted, right? Shooting the Ark up there.
Time, 20 seconds.
What's the matter with the upload?
Just give it a second.
Thought you guys would have better bandwidth in the future.
Good point. Also, why does she go first?
10 seconds. 9, 8,
Uh-oh. Are we gonna make it at all?
6,
You gotta be kidding me!
4, 3,
Come on, load!
2,
Oh damn, that was close.
Fuck yeah, we made it! Woo!
But I guess we did make it, right?
I'm still here. I'm still here. Catherine? Catherine?
I'm here.
Oh, she also did make it. Oh wait, no, true. Of course, she's also here. Yeah.
Nothing. They're out there, among the stars.
She's an Ark
We're
guy.
here.
No. We were getting on the Ark. I saw it. It finished loading just before it
Oh,
launched.
you're an idiot, man.
Yeah, I saw.
Then why are we still here?
Simon, I can't keep telling you how it works. You won't listen. You
Yeah.
know why we're here. You were copied onto the Ark. You just didn't carry over. You lost the core.
Exactly, yeah.
We both did. Just like Simon at Omicron, just like the man who died in Toronto 100 years ago.
No. This is bullshit. We came all this way. We launched the Ark.
I know it sucks.
Simon had a long day, yeah.
Catherine and Simon are both safe on the Ark. Be happy for them.
Are you crazy? We're gonna die down here with those fuckers living at large on a spaceship. They're not us. They're not us.
You're not Simon
I
either.
feel that way, Simon. I'm proud of what we did. We made sure that something of the hundreds of thousands of years of human history survives, that something lives on.
No. Fuck this. Fuck this. Fuck you. Fuck you, Catherine. You lied.
Language?
I believed in you. I trusted you. You said we're getting on the fucking Ark.
You're an idiot.
On the Ark, you idiot! I didn't lie. I can't be responsible for your goddamn ignorance.
Yeah.
Fuck!
She's right there.
Catherine,
Well,
please don't leave me alone.
oh, that really sucks now, doesn't
Catherine?
it?
Catherine?
Damn. Now he's all alone down there. Damn. Don't skip credits. Yeah, I won't. Copying is transferring. Exactly. But she says you were copied, not transferred for some reason. Yeah, isn't that the 50-50 coin flip that she basically said? That the one experiencing this either gets copied over or not. Basically your consciousness, if you want. Although, as I said, I don't really believe in that. But it's the question, I guess, the game is asking, right? Because last time we did make it into the new suit. This time we didn't. Don't check that out. This game gave me a rational fear of MRIs. I can't understand that. Conflict itself is a lie, implying of continuation of experience. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm struggling with right now. While it does exist, it doesn't exist for the scan, but the copy. Yes, that's the lie. I mean, coin toss here is not a thing the way she puts it. Yeah. But why did it work the first time? When we were moving from in Omicron from the old guy into our new suit. But didn't work this time. Conflict was never real. Yeah, but then that still doesn't explain why it worked last time and not this time. The coin is a lie. The cake is a lie. Man, I really want to replay Portal 2, by the way, also. Maybe we do this as well on stream. It was never meant to work, but to ease Simon's minds. Yeah, but it did work in Omicron. Didn't it? Am I tripping? And why you made it into the suit is because you lived all this game as Simon the Third. You were programmed Simon from Toronto and second Simon diving suit as your memories. There's no spoon. That is very correct. It's not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself. Right? No, it didn't. There was no such a thing as okay. Also, you guys are saying we never made it into the suit we are in right now. We were in that suit the entire time. Oh, that was just a... Wait. The experience game is third Simon. Because that's the only way for experience to continue. Well, I guess that's how you judge the game and what it means. I don't think we have a clear answer to this, do we? Oh, hello. Oh, this is us copied into the ARG, I assume. Then?
Whoa. Is this... Did it work?
Well, considering we have hands and shit. Looks like it. Well, it looks fancy. I say that each copy has its independent living mechanism, as you can see here. We are the same Simon, but the thing is we are moving from the last memories to this. And so I get a split from game into fourth Simon here, so it's route continuation. Now the real game begins. Yeah, if that's the case, then we'll have to proceed next stream. But I doubt it. Reading this, you have successfully entered the ARC. This survey is designed to give the developers a better understanding of your subjective experience and how to improve your well-being. I feel normal. Invigorated. I feel alien. I'm visitor inside another body. Well, we are definitely... I mean, this was already true ages ago. I guess alien. How would you describe your mental condition? A change in character. How would you describe your senses? It's normal, I guess. How would you describe the sensation of your new condition? Everything feels constructed. I mean, I do know this is fake, right? Are you troubled by the fact that you are no longer strictly human? I mean, I guess this is correct. How do you perceive your new existence? It's a direct continuation of my previous self, like a new chapter in my life. It's like being born all over again, a complete do-over. Well, I guess this... Well, it's a question, right? Okay, I'm gonna give you my perspective. I believe, as I said last time, that we are not our body, we're just consciousness, and we are controlling this body, right? So human is just a temporary condition we are in. Right? In this time as we are living on Earth. So, for me then I would say this here. First of all, in real life, I don't believe that would ever work. Well, let's assume for the game that it does. Then this would just be the next chapter of your human existence. You're not in a human body anymore, but you're still continuing from where you believed you were human. So let's go with this. I don't know if this matters at all what we do here. It would be a life worth living. No, I actually don't think so. Because it's not real. This is pretty pointless unless we are found by someone. But it's a nice existence as long as we are here. Be removed from the project and accept death. Oh, can we die here? Oh, you could, huh? You could choose to die. You guys having a deep discussion. I missed that. I'm just following your chat, very interested. Well, we killed the one at Omicron side, didn't we? We turned his battery off. No, I don't want to die, obviously, but it's interesting that I can choose this. I don't want to die. And safe, thank you for participating. Alright. The ARC team. Yeah, we're basically now in a computer program. With our consciousness being a computer program. Interesting. It's beautiful though. Yeah. It's just not real. GTA RP server.
Catherine?
Oh! Hello.
Catherine!
Howdy!
I can't believe we actually made it.
Well, we did.
I'm so relieved.
It's okay, Simon. Everything's all right now.
Yeah, it kinda isn't. But it kinda is at the same time. Yeah, Earth doesn't look too good, does it? I mean, if you think about it, we have basically been operating exactly the same way as the WoW. We are not actual humans. We don't actually consciously live in that sense, but we still kept trying to survive by all means necessary. Even though we are not actually real. Because like I apply my belief of the real world onto this. That's how I play all my games. In which case, I believe that this copying isn't really possible of consciousness. Consciousness cannot be copied into something because it is constantly changing. And it is the soul that is the universe itself. And so, what it's doing here basically is just a construct, a program that is mimicking the scan of the person that it was at that time. That's what all these constructs have been, all these AIs basically, if you want. At least from my perspective. I can tell by chat that you guys look at this a little bit differently, which is totally fine. Basically, machine learning thing trained on someone's consciousness. Yeah, exactly. That's how I see it. And as I mentioned earlier, right? Oh, she's completed now. Interesting. If you interact with the AIs we have these days, right? ChatGPT or Grok or whatnot, then they have some sort of personality, right? And they can change the personality according to who you are, and they do this, right? Grog, for example, sort of learns how you speak and write, and then it mimics that. And I think this is exactly what this was as well. It's just trying a scan or learning from a scan, whatever it is, that it thinks that your consciousness is, and then it tries to mimic that or reproduce that, but it's still just code. It's not real consciousness. It's just a program. And it might even have, it might even simulate feelings. I mean, there are a lot of movies that also talked about this, right? Or simulate some sort of experience for who we were while playing the game. But it's like Simon died 100 years ago in Toronto, and that was it for him, in my eyes. It's actually a good point. People notice personality changes from GPT to GPT from I to A. Yeah, exactly. But they're programmed like this. They're programmed to learn the interactions you have with it. Because I noticed this in ChatGPT, you can delete your data, right? And once I did this, it interacted with me completely differently. So I'm not using ChatGPT anymore anyway, because it's woke bullshit, but I noticed that it actually learns from you. All the other Simons just were a sacrifice to a purpose, but they were all Simon. This is why I disagree. Me personally. If the body died, that is true, but then the consciousness left the body. Went back into the higher planes, right? Much like this is exactly what's happening in real life. When you die, you'll just leave your body behind, but your consciousness, your soul if you want, moves into the higher planes and then chooses what it's gonna do after that. Either it incarnates again on Earth or does some other thing. Like your soul is eternal and consciousness is part of it. Consciousness basically, in my eyes, is just the understanding of where you are in a given space. And the soul gives life into that, so to speak. And so this is why I mean that the Simons that were scanned aren't actually Simon as they are, they're just programs. And we were basically playing the program. Notice, for the program itself, it might even feel like it is real. That I can't know. Nobody can ever know because we can't be a program, right? So it could feel like it is real. And that's why they had these experiences. But from the bird's eye view, I think it isn't. Your experience is not you, same way as Simon's experience, which continues through scans and algorithms, isn't Simon. It's extensions of his experience, but not him. But aren't you basically saying that experience is the same as the soul in that case? Because how could the experience keep existing in a program if it was consciousness before that? Basically, the idea of the scan continuing from where you left it doesn't make it you. Exactly, it's a new... You could say it's a new you, but I still don't think it's actually you. I think the moment... Okay, we have to differentiate here. There is you, your personality as it is, which is your consciousness or your soul, if you want to put it that way, right? But due to environment growing up as human, when you have the human experience, this kind of changes a little bit due to the environment. Let's, for example, say, I said last time, let's say you are born with an actual somewhat extroverted personality. And you can see this a lot, right? I'm a father, I see this with young kids all the time. They are very different at 1 year already, or 2 years. Kids are very different, so they have their own personality they're born with, alright? But let's say you're extroverted, but then your parents are very strict, and whenever you sort of get out of line, they punish you, and then you sort of learn to suppress this personality trait, which is the extroversion, right? And now you have this overlap of what your soul personality is, your consciousness if you want, and who you are in this lifetime. which is a little bit different, but you still have a lot of your base traits. You get what I mean? And so when you die in this body, you leave this being, like I, for example, will leave this Alex behind as it is in this very lifetime. But my soul, which has a base consciousness, which I may, or base personality, which I may use to 80% as it is, or maybe less, I don't know. That is eternal and keeps on living, and then maybe has other experiences in a future life. Like keeps on living in next plane if you want, right? Next, gets reborn somewhere else, maybe as an alien on another planet. Like it doesn't have to be human. But of course, the environments do shape you, right? You grow up as a human, so you could maybe see this as the experience, what you're talking about. It's still another instance that thinks it's you. Yeah, that's what the program is thinking. And you could say that maybe the programs at some point get so advanced that they do think that they exist themselves. Basically, simulating they might be able to simulate a consciousness in the future. But it's still not going to be a real consciousness, in my eyes anyway. I'm not saying experience is soul. Experience is something that soul possesses, or capability to possess. But it's not soul. It's a function of soul. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Describe soul then. The soul is a divine spark, if you want. This is what they worded from God at some point. It's just energy. It is energy. And it has some sort of personality baseline to it, if you want. And I don't mean what kind of cars you like or something. It's sort of how you express yourself, I would say. And that, however, is also influenced by the environment you are currently in, as I said. But to prove something is real, you have to be able to touch it, see it, and feel it all at once. That is incorrect. Because if you think about it, your brain, which deems things to be real, is really just interpreting signals. Like your brain sits in this dark skull, right? It doesn't see or hear or feel anything. It's just interpreting electrical signals from your senses. But they might just be wrong. Like we as a collective have agreed that this desk, that this is wood because it feels like this when my hand or my skin hits it. But that's just something we defined at some point. Maybe it isn't actually like that. Because the brain doesn't know, it just interprets it that way because we were told that it is. Technically it's just energy, right? That is just very slow, you could say. That it's physically hard or whatnot, right? That's actually a thought I had a while ago that really made me think. If you realize that your brain doesn't actually see things, it really only interprets these electrical signals it gets from your senses. And we basically all have agreed, as a collective unconscious if you want, that things as we see them are the way they are, and we sort of agreed on that. What even is real then? Right? It doesn't exist until we see it. That's also interesting, an interesting point. Does it not exist, or do we change the energy as soon as we see it? Well, I know you weren't real until 2 hours ago. That's true. That's, by the way, a thought I also recently had a lot, where I was thinking, because we know that manifestation is real, right? If you focus your mind on what you want over extended periods of time, it will eventually come to pass if you put enough emotion and thoughts into it on a daily basis, right? If it's something completely outlandish, it will probably take longer or maybe even very difficult to achieve. But simple things, and I have done this a lot, many times over. It works. I noticed myself. I even manifested sums of money, the exact sums of money I needed, and they just randomly came to pass. That was weird. I know one day we needed about 5 grand for our house. And I didn't have any money at the time, like not more than the paycheck to paycheck, because it was pretty shitty. Then I was visualizing gaining these 5k in some way. I didn't specify how, I was just thinking about having the money and paying off the bill. And then about a week later, my mom just randomly mentioned that she still has gold coins from my granddad, who was dead already, lying around, and they are mine and I can have him. Then I took him, went to a exchange, and it was exactly worth $5,000. I was like, okay, this can't be a coincidence, right? It can't be. It doesn't make sense. That wouldn't be a coincidence. And it's happened many times with or smaller numbers or other things. It happens all the time for me. So I do know that manifestation is real. And so with that, the question is, if reality is basically just an extension of your mind, and I don't mean brain, I mean mind, which I think is different. Then what even is real? Right? And for example, if the brain really just interprets these electrical signals, it can also easily be tricked, right? So you got law of attraction, there are books about it. Yeah, absolutely. That is true, and it does work. I've done it many times. But how can we apply that to soul? We can't observe it, but we say it's real. Well, that soul can just be our brain feeding off of the energy of itself. Oh, you're saying if we can observe something, then it isn't real. Well, okay, different question then. You can't observe space right now, can you? You can look into the sky, you see heaven, basically, right? But you can't really see space or observe what it's like to be in space. We do know that it's real. Unless you say, which could also be the case, that things only become real when we believe in them or when we observe them, not observe, when we visualize them. Then we see radiation influence, not the radiation itself. That's a good point. You could apply the same to the soul, before I get into the reason why I believe it's real. You could also say you can see the influence or the radiation of soul, but not the soul energy itself. You could say that. It was been proven to be real. You can look up pictures of real space. Which is my point. Where can we define what is real is we see it. But again, didn't you say earlier, it only becomes real when we see it? I thought maybe I thought you meant something different. Because I thought you were saying that nothing exists unless we decide to perceive something, then it basically comes into existence. Which is also a theory people have. And I keep a notebook of things I felt like going to happen, and then something similar actually happened in 3 to 5 days after that. Yeah, that is manifestation. And it does work. It's been proven many times. Everyone knows it does work. It's been a thing for me since I was a kid. Yeah, same. Now, some people are stronger in this than others. They have more, and I'm not saying telepathic things or whatnot, but some people have the ability to manifest things stronger than others. It's mostly also a belief thing. You really have to not believe in it, you have to know that it's real. But yeah, but in order for it to be observed, it has to exist, like Cole said. Again, what you see, what your eyes are sending to your brain are just signals. The brain is just interpreting these signals. And if you say you see something, that doesn't necessarily say it's real. That's just what your brain is interpreting. Which begs the question, what is real? Right? How do you define that? I'm basically referring to the Matrix here also. When he said, if you believe that reality is the electrical signals from your senses interpreted by your brain, then sure, but how do you know that this is real? How do you define that? Now, why I believe that the soul is real, as I was describing it, is, as I said, because I was reading these books. And first of all, as I had my own out-of-body experience 10 years ago, that sent me on this path to study this. And I said there was this woman, Dolores Cannon, right? She's the latest Dolores Cannon at this point. Who was a hypnotist. And she initially only hypnotized people to help them with their mental issues. But she developed a technique to hypnotize them so deeply that she can get into contact with their subconscious mind or their past lives or higher beings. Initially, this sounded, of course, like bullshit. Someone was just dreaming something or just hallucinating something or whatever. But she did this now, then, for 30 years with thousands of people all over the world that didn't know each other. It's all documented in these books. And they all reported the same things. About what happens after death, what the soul is, what the universe is, how it operates, what Earth is, all the things, everything. It's all in these books. These books are amazing. I can only highly recommend them. And they basically said in there that the soul is a spark of God. They call it the source, not God, but they understand what God means for us. And it sort of has its own personality, and it chooses to incarnate on different planets, either here as human or somewhere else. An alien being on some other planet in the universe and whatnot. And it also has multiple experiences at the same time, because the soul is so much energy, the human body cannot comprehend the entire soul at once. So it's only just a splinter of your soul, if you want. And usually, that's the key thing I only learned recently in one of the books. Usually, when you incarnate into a body, you know what you are, right? You know that you are the soul that is currently doing this, where you're coming from, etc. But they wanted to try an experiment on Earth. Earth is literally like an experiment, a human experiment. How it is when you are incarnate and you don't have the connection to God anymore, like directly. And you basically forget everything when you are born. That's why we're here. Take another person, psychologist Young. He even said there is a unifying field, collective consciousness, architects of consciousness. Yeah, the unifying field, by the way, can be proven by science. And has been proven by science that it exists. They have tested this. What's the guy's name? I can't figure. David. Is it David? No. Shit, I forgot his name. Forgot his name, but it's they did tests with a lot of people in a room. They were measuring with instruments like the atmospheric energy and other things in electromagnetic energy around the people. Like, because we do know that there is about a meter around us. There is our body creates an electromagnetic field around us. This is also why this is what you call your personal space. If someone invades your personal space, it's not just a physical thing. Their energy field meshes with yours, and with some people you like it, with some you don't. Right? It's very simple. And so this field can be measured, and they did do this when a lot of people come together at the same time and, for example, meditate. They notice that their brainwaves align, and this unifying and this field gets stronger, like a lot stronger. They could really measure this. This is very powerful, I think. So this is also why people in a group. This is what we were talking about earlier with the herd animal kind of thing. That people in a group will usually adopt the same beliefs if they are close together in some sort of tribe, and then operate in the same direction. It's very interesting. So say if manifestation kind of thing is happening and we feel it, then it's our brain that feels it. It's not the brain. It's happening in the brain. No. If not, how is the brain connected to it? That's what I kept thinking about for a while, because yeah, in my experience, manifestation precognition is a real thing. It is. It is. For example, I did know That's the weird thing. I didn't know it consciously, but I did know when my wife was cheating on me, right? After 12 years. I did have this... Like, she was completely somewhere else, right? Out of the house. But I noticed a feeling. And thoughts of adultery came into my mind. And I didn't understand where it was coming from, right? At all. And I didn't make the connection immediately that she would be cheating, because I wasn't thinking about that at all on a conscious level, because I was blind to believe she wouldn't ever do this. But I did notice on a subconscious level that something was wrong. Well, people say you have this sort of connection to other people once you get in love. Maybe that's true also. But I think that we have this unifying field with other people. May it be an electromagnetic field or any other wave frequencies, whatever. And so I did basically subconsciously know what she was doing, even though I didn't actively know it. It's the same when mothers know when their children are in danger, right? Even without being there physically. It's kind of crazy. But it's not the brain that's doing this. The brain is really just a physical part. The brain is like a radio receiver that is receiving the instructions from your soul on an energetic level. And this is what Nikola Tesla said, right? He said, if you want to understand the universe, you gotta start to think in frequencies. Do you believe in God as in a creator or the God of the Abrahamic religions, Jesus, etc.? Well, Jesus isn't God, right? He's the Son of God, which is just a metaphor that he is a creation of God. In that case, I agree with that, yes. It's not a belief in my eyes. Well, I can say it's a belief for me. You don't have to believe it yourself. But it's been well documented in my eyes. God is real. It's a creator. It's a source. Unlimited energy, if you want. Unlimited loving energy. Much like your soul is. Just much bigger. And all-knowing. And it is everything at all times and everywhere. It's a weird concept to understand. It's not some dude sitting in the sky judging everyone. It's just energy. But whatever, has created everything, yes. So I think, and the religions, right, that we have, Jesus was a real person. He was a being from a higher plane. So basically, he was already much more advanced than your regular human. And he came to Earth to teach us how to properly exist on this planet as humans and stop killing each other and whatnot. Didn't exactly work the way it did, but it's fine. Because in the books that were removed from the Bible, right? You gotta wonder why. There was a lot of talk about manifestation. He basically taught people how to manifest things into reality. It's in the hidden books that the church removed from the Bible, for example. And Mohammed, for example, or Buddha, there was just different versions of that higher being that came to Earth to teach people things about how to live here. If you started to hit that, man, I hope you get over it. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's fine. The wars is being finalized in March-ish, probably. It's fine. The people that suffer most under this usually are the children. So my 5-year-old son, sadly. And I tried to make it happen with her still after that, but she actually blamed me for the fact that she cheated. So I basically put her on that guy's dick, pretty much. So that was where I realized that this has no hope. She did come around later and actually begged for forgiveness on her knees, but it was over. For me anyway. Adultery or infidelity rather is something I cannot forgive. I did forgive it in the name of Jesus, as he said. You should always forgive. But just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you have to stick with them, right? So, classic, it's always the man's fault. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. I actually have a good relationship with her now, right? I can talk to her regularly. This was important for me because we have a child together, so obviously I need to figure out a way to make it work with her, even if we are divorced. And I actually feel like she is regretting it a lot. But, and if she actually would have put in more effort right after I found out, it's not like she told me, right? I found out. If she would have put more effort and actually accepted her mistake, then maybe we could have made it work. But the way she acted after I found out, and the months after that, I don't know. And I'm happy with my decision now, because yes, it's painful for my son, obviously, even though he's dealing with it very well. I must say, I'm actually surprised how well he does it. But it's much better for me, and I think also for her, because it's weird. I think we actually didn't really fit together that well, but somehow managed to make it 12 years. It's kind of crazy, right? But in hindsight, there's a lot of different... Actually, we can make this... Why am I not doing this big screen, right? There's a lot of different viewpoints on things for us. On many things, even. Of course, there's also some we agree upon, but... Yeah. But this is because I truly believe that our souls chose to have this experience on Earth before we even got here. So, sick transition, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Glad you like the style of the stream. Genuinely. And so, what was I saying? I don't know. Never mind. So, always someone else's fault for inner happiness. Oh yeah, this is what I'm gonna say. Our souls chose to do this, so I'm not mad at her at all anymore. I was, of course, I was full of rage and anger for the first 3 months or something after I found out. And so, I've been through that though, because you have to face the pain and the anger, otherwise it will consume you. And especially also because if I keep holding these grudges towards her, I'm basically running around with that weight on my shoulder the entire time, giving her power over my life. And at some point I decided, I don't want to give her power over my life or my emotions. That sucks, man. So then I decided to let it go. Forgiving doesn't mean submission or compromise. Exactly. It means not holding grudge. Yeah, you basically just said what I was saying. Would you consider yourself a part of any Abrahamic religions, or you just believe in God, creator, who isn't necessarily good or bad? The latter. I mean, I have Jesus' cross hanging here on the wall, and I do have a Bible. Like, I see it this way. I do believe everything in the Bible is true, but it is commonly misunderstood. I don't believe in the dogmatic approach of the church or many people that take it word for word. Because I see it this way. Jesus was, if you believe he was a higher being or the Son of God, doesn't really matter, but he was definitely a very powerful being, right? And so, couldn't it be possible that he put two meanings into the same text in the Bible? One that was correct 2,000 years ago, and now a different kind of meaning that is like a metaphor meaning that is correct these days. Simple example, right? In the Bible it says that women have to submit to their husbands, right? That was obviously literally true back in the days. But I think it could also have a second meaning, as in, because we understand that the conscious mind we usually often also think of as the masculine, the logic, the reasoning, and the subconscious mind and your feelings are the feminine, right? And so I would say, if you want to raise your consciousness, the feelings have to be subordinate to reason, basically critical thinking. And that means that the feminine has to submit to the masculine. You could also take it literal, but I think this has a different meaning. Could be a metaphor. And if you read the Bible like this these days, a lot of things make a lot more sense, I think. Especially if you look at current society, right? Which is completely driven by their impulses and their feelings, basically the feminine only, feminization of our society. It would need a lot more masculine energy in my eyes and a lot more critical thinking. So this is what I think when the feminine should submit to the masculine. This is true for you as a man, but also as the woman herself. Women are more in flow with their emotions. That is great. We want this because it is actually a good thing and can be very powerful and useful. Not just in sex, for example, when they let themselves go, but also in like playing with children and whatnot. but in the end, there still has to be some sort of critical thinking in your mind that overrides feelings in specific situations. That's true for men and women alike. So yeah. Bible is a cipher for truth, not literal truth. Yeah, you have to decipher meaning from it, not the true meaning. Exactly, especially these days. I think back in the days, 2,000 years ago, a lot of it was actually making sense literal. But especially today, I think it's mostly just metaphors. Right? Everything, really. The same is true like with Genesis, right? And Adam and Eve. For example, right? Eve eating the fruit, right? The poison fruit. Like, it's not the poison fruit, it's the fruit of knowledge. And even though God told her not to do, and Adam was actually a complete bitch at the time, he was not interfering. And that's basically what we're seeing these days when women, in their nature of just following their impulses and emotions, are being led run around. I can't speak. When we let them run around rampantly, that was a weird sentence for some reason, without any masculine interference, then the world goes to shit. As it does right now, right? I mean, let me just point blatantly at literally everything in society, right? And then if there is some masculine interference that would have told her, listen, woman, guy up there told us not to eat from the tree of knowledge, so would you just stop that? Then things would be better, then we could live in paradise. I think that's a very simple metaphor. Now, it doesn't mean that you, like a tyrant, override anything your girl ever says, right? I'm not saying this at all. I think there needs to be discernment. But I do think that the masculine should always have the last say in these things. Pretty bad take, thank you. I hate how casually people dismiss the clear contradictions and errors of the Bible and act as if Christianity is a perfect religion. Well, I see it this way, it's very simple. Jesus was the only one who has ever done miracles. And these are all well documented, not just in the Bible, also by other kings from other lands, etc. So they are true, they literally happened, it's well documented. So I'm not saying that is perfect by any means, but it's clear that he was real and what he did was real. And even if you don't believe in this, that is fine. I still think that the Bible gives a lot of very good basic rule sets to live life properly. Like the 10 Commandments is a base idea, right? Jesus was documented too many historical evidence. Exactly. Exactly. Like, it's not even... to me, it's crazy when people actually question Jesus' existence these days, because you just have to look it up. It's so well documented. From so many people, and not just within the Bible, literally, like, everywhere. And I think that's just obvious. Now, I'm not saying, by the way, that Islam, for example, is bad in its base idea. Although I personally, people might hate me for this, I personally think that Islam as it is somewhat outdated, at least part of it, in the sense that they, basically in the Quran it says they have to convert everyone they see, right? So their coexistence can't really exist with Islam as it is. But then you also have to admit that the Quran, much like the Bible, was also changed. Muhammad initially didn't actually mean many of the things that are in there. Or didn't say these. Same thing. Because the Sufis, I believe the name is, they initially, it's like the Gnostics for the Christianity, right? I don't actually like the church, if I'm being honest. Because it's too rigorous, it's too much dogma. It doesn't really have much to do with how we should conduct ourselves with Jesus and the Bible and God, in my personal opinion. And the same is true with Islam and the Quran. Because I do think that the Sufis initially, they actually had a different approach to it, which was really coexistence and just looking at having a better life, because the people in the Middle East back in the days, where it came from, they were also killing each other all the time, much like the Romans did, right? Before Jesus came around. And so it was basically just the base idea of focusing on family. That's sort of the main idea Islam initially had, was a focus on family and living a good life. And that's totally fine. right? Nothing wrong with that. But then it was, of course, much like the Bible, changed by the people in power at the time. I have a few things to ask, very controversial, even heretical. But Bible says loving God and Satan is hating. Okay, then why God loved them only under condition? Not to eat the apple, otherwise you surely will die. Or Satan offered knowledge of what's good and bad without condition. Giving without taking. And God lied, at least in the Bible. They eaten an apple, but didn't die. So God had to punish disobedience by putting mortality curse and exiling Adam and Eve to earth. That's a lot in one thingy. Okay, first of all, he didn't really love them under conditions. Just because you punish someone doesn't mean you don't love them. Do the same with your children, right? When I punish my son for doing something bad, it doesn't mean I don't love him. In fact, it's actually more a showcase of love, right? And they did die in a sense, right? Because they were living in paradise, everything was great. But as soon as they ate from the tree of knowledge, then their self sort of died in that sense, right? They became something else. A corruption, if you want. And God knew this, so he wanted to protect them. So it is death in a sense. As I said, I don't think you should take it literal at all anymore these days. There's a lot of metaphors in there. And I don't know if it's disobedience, because they still have free will to do it, right? But of course there is punishment if you do bad things, much like you do for children. Because as the parents, you are basically the God figures of your children. Because you know everything better than they do. Obviously. So you could see that it's in the same sense, right? So you have to punish them for doing something you know is bad for them. There's a condition with Satan. You do bad things, karma will come for you. That is also true, by the way. Okay then, without knowledge, how do you know disobedience is bad? Yeah, but that's why he told them not to do it. Right? I mean, I don't have enough knowledge about this specific part there. Because I didn't really look too deeply into this, I'm gonna be honest. If I would look deeper into it, we could probably make an understanding of what the metaphor is in there. Right? That's just what I'm currently coming up with out of my mind. I didn't look too deeply into this specific part. Because I did read about somewhere at some point. But from my understanding, the Bible is basically a... How do I phrase this? A metaphor of how humans should behave. So basically you can also see the tree of knowledge as something that Adam and Eve, speaking of humans at that sense, were eating from the tree of knowledge, so their former innocent self died. You could also see this as maturing. I think that's actually what I read once in the text. That as soon as you eat from the tree of knowledge, you mature into an adult, and then you lose your childish innocence. And because Jesus also said you should always somewhat be childish, right? And keep that childishness within you. And you know yourself that life is, like, children are so much more enjoying life than we do as adults with all our knowledge. So, he does have a point there, doesn't he? I disagree, humans shouldn't keep slaves. They're not slaves just because they're children. Do you consider any children to be a slave? They are free to do what they want to an extent, they're just being protected. Slavery is if you are told exactly what to do and you can't do anything else. And if you raise your children, you still want them to explore the world and do what they want, but you still try to help them. Children just do whatever as they have no knowledge. Exactly. I'm trying to say is the Bible is corrupted to show obedience to power of God when God itself is omnipresent and neutral. I don't actually think that God is neutral. I think he's more focused on the positive. On love. The frequency that God always sends out is love, as it is. Forgiveness and love, basically. That's what Jesus taught, right? You should love everyone and forgive them for their mistakes. And it also makes a lot of sense, because if you think about it, if you always sort of retaliate when people fuck something up, that would just end up in consistent wars all the time, right? And so I would say he's more focused on the positive outcome of things. But he's not judgmental, as it is meant in the Bible, for example. Or like when you take it literally. Most kids don't care what anyone thinks. They cry and laugh and play without any shame. Yeah, exactly. This is basically the childish energy that women much more also keep than men. This is why I love very feminine women, because I think their energy is always somewhat childish and bubbly and joyful. And as a man, you are more usually on the sort of reasonable side, which is, and you care about all these things happening. You're not as carefree as women are. And children especially have this to a much greater extent. They do this also a lot when they try to change their consciousness, right? When kids, for example, like spin a lot in circles to an extent where they lose control over their consciousness, if you want, for a second, and get into this kind of trance state. It's very powerful. Kids do this a lot, but you kind of lose that ability later in life. God permits humans to keep slaves in the Old Testament. I don't know where he does that. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm assuming again that this is a metaphor for something. Because I think the entire Bible is a metaphor. Focus on law of forgiveness. Yet he punished every other offspring. Nothing to do with Apple, with mortality and death. That's not forgiving. Every one of us are born with sin. How is that love or forgiveness? Well, what do you think? If you think that every one of us is born with sin, then shouldn't we all be punished in hell forever? But we're not. Isn't that forgiveness? Isn't that exactly what Jesus did on the cross? Die for all sins. And mortality is, by the way, we're not mortal. We're just experiencing this mortal body. Like I was pulling out here, not from the earth perspective as humans. I was looking at this from the soul perspective. Your soul is a divine spark from God, and it's not punished in any sense. It is consistently loved in everything it does. And it's just experiencing things, for example, in this mortal body for temporal time span. Again, I think you are taking this story way too literal. And you have to zoom out a lot more. I really like how the SOMA background goes with this conversation. It does, actually. It does. It's very fitting. Because as I said, I don't think... In my viewpoint of the world, or the universe, if you want, this existence I have right here, right now, is just a very short-lived, very short existence in the whole existence of my soul. And of course, there are some bad things on Earth, but that's not necessarily that we are punished or hated or whatever. It's just that we are given free will entirely to do with our emotions as we please. That is actually very loving and forgiving, that he's telling us to do whatever we want, right? In this, or our soul is telling us whatever we want in this physical plane. But there is no real mortality, because the soul does never die. It's eternal, right? So it's basically like playing a video game, right? You have complete free will to do whatever you want in the video game. You can kill a bunch of people or not. You can choose to be good or to be bad. But in the end, your real self is here. It's the same thing, just basically Inception, one step out of it. Israelites may own foreign slaves and pass them to children. I'm sure there could be a metaphor in that. And maybe at the time it was necessary for whatever reason. When the Bible was written. I don't know. Maybe. See, in Hebrew, in first Bibles, there were no heaven nor hell. It was later created by humans themselves. Exactly, that's where my problem stems from. From the conditioning to power, but the actual truth. Oh, this is very correct, actually. If you die and you believe that there is a hell, or that you go into hell, or that you go into heaven, then you will see this. At first, until you realize that there is no such thing. And then you will realize, oh yeah, you actually are your soul and not the human being on this planet. And what Jesus meant when this was said for the Bible back in the days, heaven and hell, is that you create this yourself literally on earth. If you do bad things, you create your own hell. And if you do good things and try to be good and forgive, then you create your own heaven, or you get into heaven if you want. Because then your life will be better. This is again just a metaphor, not a actual literal thing. Or so I think. By the way, again, like Rizio over here, for example, I do not tell anyone what you should believe, okay? Make up your own mind. If anything, I want you to exercise some critical thinking, right? I'm just giving you my opinion, and you might think, okay, that's some bullshit. Or you might say, okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. Fine, whatever it is, I want you to critically think about what you believe and then stick with that. But as humans, we are both good and bad. Yes, absolutely. Duality, exactly. Duality is what Earth is. Outside of Earth, there isn't really a thing as good or bad. They don't consider it that way. It's more like misguidance that can be rectified if you want. But there's no such thing as like evil or good if you want that. But that's the duality of humanity that we are experiencing here. And again, I might also misunderstand some of the concepts I read in these books, because this is like very advanced stuff that is somewhat difficult for our human mind to comprehend. So I might get some of that wrong, or some of the metaphors in the Bible, or in other religious texts, right? But I actually truly believe that all religions mean the same in the end. They focus on the same, which is love each other and forgive each other, and focus on doing good things on Earth as you are here. Because I think this is sort of what it all comes down to in the end. Because that is what makes a life worth living, really. Doesn't it? Right? Yeah, I don't know where I was gonna go with this. Anyway, completely, not necessarily off topic, but SOMA. Didn't even talk about it at all, right? SOMA. Amazing game. Amazing game. As I said, I did play it many years ago, at least in part. I didn't remember anything, funnily enough. But absolutely amazing. Not just because we just talked about 30 minutes about God and the world, so to speak, right, after the game. But also throughout the game, there were so many interesting concepts. No, I personally reject the idea that it's possible to upload your consciousness into a PC if you want. But for the sake of the game, it was a cool experiment mind experiments to think about. So that was cool. A lot of interesting facets in there. And I like that it wasn't that deep on the horror, because I'm not really a fan of that. But it was very well made. Also, the atmosphere was amazing. Really amazing, very well set up. And I actually like that this is a game that really makes you think. I really enjoy these kind of games that make you think about the existence of yourself and the universe, other beings, whatever it is. So pretty cool, very cool. Absolute masterpiece game in my eyes. Truly amazing. And I'm very much looking forward to the successor that's coming out this year, whenever. Have you heard of Ontos? Exactly. Ontos is the one I'm looking forward to. Yeah, absolutely. It's already on my wish list. Definitely gonna stream that on day one. Disco Elysium. I heard of this a lot. I even think I have it on my wish list. But it looked a bit odd from like the playstyle. I don't know, maybe it's not. Yeah, I can't wait for Ontos either, man. It's gonna be amazing, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Soma is just crazy good, man. So many great topics in there you can talk about. AI especially also. With the WoW, for example. Also survival of humanity. Because I still think, basically, we're now banking our entire... I mean, the human race is dead. We can conclude that in my eyes. For Soma there. What really happened is that now some programs still exist. And could potentially be found at some point. Because like these cataclysm events happened a lot through our existence, right? There was dinosaurs that were gone extinct. There was Atlantis that was made extinct. And a bunch of other ones. Cataclysmic events on Earth. So it could totally be that a comet strikes one because humans fucked up and the higher beings decided, okay, we have to reset the entire experiment. Could have been, but we already know it didn't, right? Because we are moving into a new Earth. But it could have been, right? So it would have totally made sense that it was actually the idea that humans all have to die. It has its own art style, not gonna lie, but it has some topics to offer. Absolutely. Oh, you mean Disco Elysium? Okay, I see. Well, maybe at some point. But I don't get why they want to upload their consciousness into another body when your soul goes to another body anyway. Why does it say that the soul goes to another body anyway? In the game? Because like that was my... Like I was putting my idea or my belief of reality onto the game, right? And the story within the game. And I believe that your consciousness does not ever die, or your soul. It just goes into another realm and then chooses to incarnate somewhere else. This is also why I truly believe that you cannot ever upload your consciousness. Because it is a spark of God. And you cannot reprogram that. Or program that. Makes sense if you can. Okay. So what we saw there with the uploads into these AI chips, Cortex chips, was basically just a program that mimicked a consciousness based on what it thought the consciousness is at the time of the scan. But just one day later, the consciousness might be something completely different, right? So. And we haven't even talked about walk-ins at this point, right? When a soul walks into another body to occupy it. That's an interesting topic. Well, we're going to talk about this on another stream. Because I got a dip now, friends. It's actually very late over here and I have to work tomorrow. So, thanks everyone for being here. It was an absolute amazing 2 streams. Amazing conversations we had. Loved all of it. Thanks everyone for being here and joining. And also with the other side, or more challenging thoughts like Grizio, for example, right? About the Bible and stuff. It's all very welcome. And I'm gonna be back Sunday, I believe. Sunday? Yeah. Unless I do a surprise stream tomorrow, but I'm probably not gonna have time to do it. Probably on Sunday, and we're gonna do a long stream, aiming for 6 or more hours on Sunday. So we're gonna start a little earlier, and we're probably gonna play Prey. I'm feeling Prey right now, to be honest. Unless it changes until Sunday. You're gonna see what it is. Definitely check out Discord if you want me to react to any sort of game trailers and games we should play on stream. Check out Discord, I have a channel for that specifically. where you can post your trailers, and then I'm gonna post this on the other channel where I have my reaction videos. And maybe even then stream it. Like Warframe, for example, right? Ozzy in chat wanted me to check this out, and we're gonna play it because it looked amazing. So yeah, as I said, thanks everyone for being here. Have a good night, man. Likewise. Prey is a good story and topics to go for. Yeah, it also looks amazing, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. Or maybe we do Detroit first. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm actually kind of leaning very much towards Prey right now. It's also already installed. That's usually a sign that I'm gonna play it. So yeah, thanks everyone for being here, guys. Have a good time, a good night, wherever you are. Love you all, and goodbye.